Persuasion is the brand new Netflix original film based on the Jane Austen novel by the same name. This film stars Dakota Johnson, Cosmo Jarvis, Henry Golding, and Richard E. Grant. And tells the story 8 years after Annie Elliott, played by Dakota Johnson, was persuaded not to marry her man of humble origins, played by Cosmo Jarvis. They meet again 8 years later, and will both of them seize their second chance at true love. The film is an hour and 47 minutes and is actually PG. Welcome back to a brand new Netflix movie review here at Max Talks. We're talking Persuasion. If you're new to the channel, please like the video, subscribe. First subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so you're notified when these videos come out. We do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Monday. So please subscribe, ring the bell. Comment down below. First of all, have you read the novels? That's something I have no history with this movie. How did the movie do with the novel? Did you like the movie, not like the movie based on the novel? Tell me, have you not even seen the novel? And are you to check out this movie, which really has no promotion that's coming out today on Netflix? And please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. That really helps the channel more than you know, helps the algorithm out so more people will check out the review. So heading in, I literally just saw Dakota Johnson, Jane Austen novel. So for me, I'm very much now watching every single thing that Dakota Johnson is in. If you're new to the channel, earlier this year I reviewed Cha Cha Real Smooth, which will be a little video at the end of this video, but that's my favorite movie of the year so far, and she's one of my favorite, if not my favorite performance of the entire year in that movie. She's one of my favorite actors working today. I know she has a lot of flack for those 50 Shades of Grey films, but I think she's become way past that franchise. And let's go positives, my negatives, and my score. She is the biggest positive with this movie going. She's fits the tone of the movie perfectly, I think, more than any other character. She has a lot of charisma to herself that brings such a likable character. You are rooting for Anne to find her true love throughout the entire movie. You want to end the movie knowing she's in the best place possible from where we started the movie, because she's kind of in a rough place 8 years later after she kind of parted ways with Wentworth, played by Cosmo Jarvis. She's so funny as well. There's a lot of comedy added to the film, and she kind of brings really all the laughs, I would say, to the movie. She's just a really good actor, and she's becoming that type of actor where anything she's in, she's delivering good to great performances. This is a really good performance for Dakota Johnson, that for a movie that at times isn't that watchable, she makes it clearly as watchable as it can be, because she's, again, this is one of the most charismatic, just oozing superstar, I think, actors working today. And while she's not the flashiest of actors, I think she just is one of the top working actors today, and she continues to prove that in Persuasion. I think the whole cast is a pretty solid cast. Henry Golding is just not in the movie as much as I thought. He's not even introduced into the movie until at least an hour in. So technically he's really in the last 45 minutes of the movie. And he's in really bits and pieces, not in it as much. Richard E. Grant plays Dakota Johnson's father in the film. He is perfectly over the top and knows exactly what movie he is in, which was fun to look at. Then I'll get into Cosmo Jarvis in a second. I actually thought that the production design, it really did take you back into the time period. This is a time period piece movie. And while it's mixed in with modern themes and modern ways of talking, very similar to a show on Apple TV Plus called Dickinson, I feel like they did actually do a great job of putting you back into that production design, with putting you in that time period really well. The costume was really nice. The score was really good. Again, the whole world building of this time period I thought was done very well. And the expectations on women during these times as well were explored very well. But let's get into kind of the big problems with this movie, because I really wanted to go at least 2.5 out of 5. I'm going to go not fresh with this review, because I think the biggest problem with this movie is the main essential dynamic that the movie desperately needs you to be invested in, and that is Anne and Wentworth. So Dakota Johnson and Cosmo Jarvis, not that they have bad chemistry. I think the big problem is that Dakota Johnson brings so much charisma, so much just amazing actor into this performance, that Cosmo Jarvis, who I think is not bad in this movie whatsoever, he just doesn't ooze charisma whatsoever, and they don't have great chemistry in the movie. And it's kind of weird because they kind of throw Henry Golding as a wrench to kind of make a third wheel into the movie. We were kind of weird because I wasn't rooting for her to be with any of these two people during the movie. And that's clearly not what the movie was going for. They were kind of like, this person probably shouldn't be with Anne. This person obviously should be. And I just didn't feel any emotional attachment to Anne and Wentworth as the main couple of the movie. I did not feel them whatsoever. And that leads the third act to be very just bland. This movie is way too bland for its own good. Other than Dakota Johnson, the rest of the movie just feels so weighed down in mediocre that it's tough to get invested in this main romance when they're trying, the movie, this writing is desperately wanting you to be involved, emotionally attached to this main romance, and you're not. That's a big problem with the movie. I think another big problem is that because this is based on a novel, the way they're kind of exploring that way of telling a story about a novel is that they break the fourth wall of Dakota Johnson's character a lot, where she'll just get finished a pretty emotional scene and then she'll look into the camera telling you what her feelings are and what the other characters' feelings are. And for me, it happened way too many times. Like in the beginning, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. She's breaking the fourth wall a lot. And if you don't like breaking the fourth wall in your movies, you probably won't like this. But she's breaking the fourth wall all the time. And it just happens way too much. Like there's actually a pretty solid scene between Jarvis and Johnson, which I think is their strongest scene of the movie. And once it's done, you're like, okay, maybe I can get into this romance. And then it quickly gets forgotten about because they need Dakota Johnson to break the fourth wall and tell us what her feeling is. Even when we can clearly tell what she was feeling, she has to tell the camera what she's feeling. And there's too many scenes of where it's actually emotional and super serious, and then tension just breaks when they break the fourth wall. I think it happens just way too often. I think used in bits and pieces in the right situation works, but doing these big emotional scenes and then having characters just break the fourth wall just pulled me right out of the emotional scenes, which never got me emotionally vested in the movie as well. Also, Henry Golding was absolutely wasted. That character could have been played by any actor. It just felt weird that Henry Golding chose to do this movie because it's such a whatever role that you feel like another actor could have played, which is sad because I do think Henry Golding's good in it and I like Henry Golding, but it's a pretty much a throwaway role. And I just wasn't laughing as well. The movie clearly wants to be funny and subtly funny, and it didn't work for me. I think Dickinson's a way better idea of a show like this, where it's a plot like this with a time period mixed in with a comedy with today's themes and characters and way they talk. Way funnier show. I think Persuasion for me as a movie wasn't very funny, had a main romance that I just could not get invested in. And had too many fourth wall awakenings that for me, I had to go not fresh. But Dakota Johnson completely elevates this movie. Without her, I don't know where this movie would be. So I'm going to give Persuasion a 2 out of 5 stars, a 45%, pretty high 2 for me, 45% for Persuasion on Netflix. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. So 45% for Persuasion. My other videos coming down like Monday, you'll have my box office breakdown show, as well as next week, you'll have reviews of The Gray Man and Nope here on the channel. And on Thursday, I had my review of Paws of Fury. So click that movie review video right here. Those are my other movie reviews of this year. And also click my review of the other Dakota Johnson movie of the year, which I highly recommend you checking out, Cha Cha Real Smooth.